Namaste. My name is Aditi and welcome to HomeYogi. Today, we will be practicing a gentle Hatha yoga. Hatha yoga is also commonly pronounced as Hatha yoga in English. Hatha yoga is in Sanskrit. Hat basically means force. It is a style of yoga. Now, I don't like to classify yoga practices into levels, such as beginner, intermediate, advanced. However, in the modern yoga world, these are the levels yoga styles and yoga practices are classified. So anyone who is new to yoga, wants to incorporate yoga asana practice in the day-to-day life, should start from a Hatha yoga. So Hatha yoga is a style of yoga which is slow-paced, and it has a set of physical postures or yoga asanas with controlled movements and breathing techniques. Now, why is it so powerful? So Hatha yoga means force. So over a period of time, when you practice Hatha yoga, it is going to have a powerful effect on your body where the force, the energy, the prana is going to flow upwards in your body. Now, before I begin, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel to never miss a new video released on HomeYogi. So let's get started. So for this sequence, the gentle Hatha yoga sequence, there are some of the props that if you have them at home would be great. So please get blocks or a folded blanket or a bolster if you have that at home. If you don't have a bolster, a firm cushion could also help, especially in the seating asanas. Now, this kind of sequence is going to be gentle. It is going to be light. There are going to be few moments of where you will have to hold the pose, a standing pose or a lunge for a couple of breaths. So that's where you might feel a little bit of strength conditioning kind of a feeling. So it would be kind of a strength training as well, but you will not feel very rigorous kind of a workout. So you might break into a sweat or two, but you will, overall, it will be a very gentle yoga practice. So keeping that in mind, let us go ahead and sit in Sukhasana. If this is comfortable for you, we're going to start with a couple of rounds of Ujjayi Pranayama. I will walk you through this pranayama. If sitting is not comfortable for you in Sukhasana, you can sit in a chair and then move back to the following asanas. If not, you can lie on the mat and follow along. So go ahead and sit in Sukhasana. Keep a straight spine, a length in your spine. So that can be achieved by sitting on the edge of a folded blanket or a towel, or sitting on the edge of a bolster or a firm cushion. And go ahead and close your eyes or keep a soft gaze in front of you if that is something that is calling to you. And let us just take a few breaths in and out through the nose. Let us bring our awareness and our attention to our body. To this practice. Maybe you are practicing this first thing in the morning, or you're practicing this after a long day. Whatever the situation is, try and bring your awareness to your present. And breathe normally through the nose. And while you're trying to bring that awareness, go ahead and place your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your heart center. And on your next inhale, I would want you to inhale through the belly, expanding the belly, and let that inhale then travel up to the ribs, and then finally to the base of your throat. And when you exhale, I want you to first exhale through the base of the throat, down to the ribs, and finally contracting that belly. The placement of the hands is really beautiful in reminding you the movement of the breath, in reminding you that this breath is you. So let us work towards this yogic breathing or Ujjayi pranayama for 2 to 3 rounds at our own pace. And while we're working on this, let us set an intention, whatever that intention could be. It could be setting a new yoga asana routine for the next week. It could be thanking your body. Whatever it is, breathe with that intention. So let us do this Ujjayi pranayama for 2 rounds at our own pace. Inhale through the belly, up to the ribs, finally base of the throat. And exhale through the base of the throat, down to the ribs, contracting the belly. And one more time. Inhale. Exhale. And bring your palms on your knees or thighs, palms facing up. And if your eyes are closed, gently blink open your eyes in front of you. And just take a moment here to see how you feel. Is there a little shift in your breathing? Is there more awareness of how you feel? And don't worry about the thoughts. The thoughts will always come and go. Now let us begin to warm up our joints. It's always important to warm up our joints before we get into the main asana practice. So remain seated. And if you're not seated, please go ahead and come to a seated position, whatever that means for you, in a comfortable position. And we're going to go ahead and warm up our joints. Now go ahead and bring your hands by your side, fingertips touching the mat. And as you inhale, bring your hands all the way up, palms touching each other for a brief second. And exhale, bring your hands all the way down, fingertips touching the mat. Let's do this 3 more times. Inhale, maybe look up, palms touch. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now go ahead and keep your right hand on the mat and inhale and bring your left hand up. And as you exhale, slide your right hand down and kind of give a big stretch to your left side. So maybe lean as much as you can towards the right and look towards your left bicep. And come back to center. And let's do this on the other side. So keeping our left hand on the mat, inhale, bring your hand overhead. And as you exhale, lean to the left, looking at your right bicep and giving that beautiful stretch to your right side of the body. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Center. Inhale. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale. Exhale. You can let out a sigh or 2. I love this stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Now let us go ahead and bring our hands in front of us at shoulder level and shoulder width apart. And let us go ahead and make a fist. Tuck in our thumb and make a fist. And we're going to do a few wrist rotations. So I want you to rotate your wrists 10 times outside and then 10 times inside. So 10 times outwards, 10 times inwards. I don't know about you, but my wrists are cracking a little bit. You know the sensation when you feel with the bones, when you crack your knuckles? And also, now that the weather is getting cold, depending on which part of the world you're in, it's very important to warm up the joints. And let's move in the opposite direction. And relax. Now, I want you to lean back a little bit and grab hold of your right thigh here. And just maybe lean back a little bit and rotate your ankles. Same thing, 10 times outwards, or in this case, 10 times to the right, and 10 times to the left. And switch. Grab hold of your left thigh, 10 times right, and 10 times left. And come back to your seated position. And one last pose before we get on our all fours is we're going to do a seated twist. So bring your hands on your knees and inhale and bring your left hand up and your right hand about 6 inches behind you. All right, make sure you still have a length in your spine. And as you exhale, cross your left hand and place it on your right knee. And with an inhale and lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, twist and move your head towards your right shoulder, looking past your right shoulder. And with every inhale and exhale, twist a little more, as much as you can. And untwist and come back to center. And let us do this on the other side. So bring your left hand behind you. Make sure you have a length in your spine. Don't lean back. So prop yourself up a little bit. I'm going to turn to the right just so you can see what that alignment looks like. So we're in a seated position. I'll just show on the right side again. But so we bring our right hand behind us, lengthen, inhale. Okay, bring your left hand, cross your left hand on your right knee. Inhale, and as you exhale, twist and look past your right shoulder. So the same thing you want to do on the left. So bring your left hand behind you. Inhale, right hand up, cross, and bring it on your left knee. Lengthen your spine. Inhale, and as you exhale, twist to the left, looking past your left shoulder. And now untwist and let us go ahead and get on all fours. Maybe have a folded blanket or a folded towel for extra cushion to place the blanket or the towel under your knees. So all fours or tabletop is basically where you have a neutral spine. So don't tilt your spine don't tilt your tailbone like I'm doing right now. So keep it neutral, and your wrist should be aligned and directly under your shoulders, and your knees should be directly under your hips. Okay? So go ahead and keep a neutral spine. So now go ahead and stay in your all fours and we're going to do a few rounds of cat and cow pose. So when you inhale, I want you to arch your spine and lift your chest, lift your head and your tailbone towards the sky. Let your belly drop down. And as you exhale, I want you to round your spine, tuck in your tailbone, suck in your stomach, and bring your chin to your chest. Okay? Now inhale. Lift your chest, lift your head, lift your tailbone towards the sky. Let your belly drop. And as you exhale, round the spine, tuck in your tailbone, bring your head down until your chin is touching your chest. And let's continue this 5 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And I believe there's one more. Inhale. Exhale. And come to a neutral spine. Still on your table, top position and all fours. So now this is optional if you want. So I want you to bring your big toes to touch and sit back on your heels. Bring your arms forward and bring your head. It could be your forehead, your chin, and your chest all the way down to the mat and surrender. So you can stay here. Otherwise, there is an option to flow. So stay here if this is all that your body wants you to do today, and that's all that your body wants to do today, and that is totally fine. If not, you can flow with me, and this is how the flow will go. So staying in child's pose, press your fingers into the mat and lift your chest, lift your head, and go past your shoulders, look up, coming into a cobra. And let us go back and sit on our heels, bring our toes to touch, bring down our head and our chest to the mat, come to a child's pose. And let us flow like this, if that's calling to you, for 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. And stay here for 2 to 3 breaths. Now, whenever you're ready, let us go ahead and meet in tabletop. So going from a tabletop position, we're going to get into our first downward dog. Now, we have warmed up our joints. We have, I don't know about you, but I'm definitely feeling a lot of warmth in my body. So let's go ahead and tuck in our toes. Now, if downward dog is something which is a no for you, I would suggest that you stay here in tabletop position or in child's pose until we get into the next pose. But if you are okay with doing a downward dog, go ahead and tuck in your toes here and press through the fingertips into the mat. Now slowly lift your knees up and start straightening your knees and lift your hips up. Don't be too hung up on trying to place your
heels on the mat. This is your first downward dog, so it's going to take some time. But the whole idea is that your elbows should be straight, your knees should be straight, and your hips should be lifted. And you're trying to get the shape where your chest is trying to meet your thighs. So try and look in between the space between your feet and try to meet your chest to your thighs. Beautiful. Now, look at the space in front of you, in between your hands, and lift your right leg up and place your right foot forward in between the space of your hands. Now, staying on the ball of your back foot, keeping your knees lifted, go ahead and come to a lunge and lift your arms up with control. And your hands are up and your palms are facing up. Now make sure the cues that you want to be mindful of is you want to keep your core engaged. You are still on the ball of your back foot. Your arms are parallel to your ears, palms are facing each other, and your right knee is aligned over your right ankle. Let's hold here for 5 breaths. This is the challenge. This will be the most challenging pose of the entire sequence. And after your 5th breath, place your hands on the mat, bring your leg back, come back to a downward dog. Here you can walk your dog, so you can try and touch your heels, one at a time. Maybe sway side to side. And let's repeat on the other side. So go ahead and lift your left leg up and place your left foot in front, in the space between your hands. Staying on the ball of your back foot, come to a lunge. Now again, if you are unable to touch your fingertips on the mat, this is where you want to use the blocks. You can keep them horizontal, you can keep them vertical, however you want to keep them, okay? And now, slowly, with control, come up. Your arms are alongside your ears. Check the alignment, maybe move a little forward. In my case, my left leg is a little unbalanced than my right. So make sure, again, your left knee is aligned over your left ankle. Your arms are along your ears, alongside your ears, palms facing each other, and you're still on the ball of the foot. And try and go as low as you can. And hold this pose for about 5 breaths. Now here, instead of going back to downward dog, I just want you to ground your back foot here. Bring your arms down, ground your back foot, and make it parallel to the short edge of the mat. And you can remove any blanket or anything in front of you. We're gonna get into warrior 2. So ground your back foot, make your back foot parallel to the short edge of the mat, and make sure your front heel, so your front heel is in line with the back instep of the back heel, okay? And let us go ahead and bend our front knee and open our hips. So we are basically trying to make our hips parallel to the long edge of the mat. Open our arms here. And let's just look through our fingertips in the front. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Make sure your top hip is pulled away from the chest. And you're now in warrior 2. Let's hold this pose for 3 breaths. Maybe bend a little more in the front knee. Try and challenge yourself. You don't want to push yourself to pain, but a little bit of discomfort is great. Now, drop from here. I want you to drop your left arm just above your left knee and swing your right arm over alongside your right ear and look at your right bicep. You're in an extended side angle. Stay here for 3 breaths. Now, slowly come back to warrior 2. Now listen carefully. Straighten your front knee, okay? Your arms are extended. Straighten your front knee. Now I want you to cut your hip back first. So just go back, cut your hips back. Reach forward with your arms as much as you can until you can't reach anymore. Drop your left arm down and bring your right arm up. We're coming into a triangle. Now your left arm can be, depending on your torso and your arm length, it could be on the shin, it could be on the mat, or if this is too much, this is where you want to bring a block on the inside of your foot, on your left foot. Hold the block here with your left arm and your right arm's up. And look up. Stay here for 3 breaths. Now bend your front knee and come into Warrior 2 again. Now we're going to complete this flow or this sequence on the other side. So bring your left heel in or left toe in. So this way your left foot is now parallel to the short edge of the mat, and turn your right toes out. So now your right feet or your right foot is parallel to the long edge of the mat. Bend your front knee, so this is your new front knee. Extend your arms out and open your hip, again making it parallel to the mat, parallel to the long edge of the mat. And extend your hands out, arms out, and look through the fingertips. Again, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Warrior 2 on the other side. Bend your knee as much as you can and stay here for 2-3 breaths. Push through the discomfort. Send your breath there. Now, slowly drop your right forearm just above your right knee. Swing your left arm up, across, and let it bring it along your left ear and look at your left bicep. Extended side angle. Stay here for 2 breaths. Now come back to Warrior 2, keeping a bend in your knee. Now let's do the triangle on this side. So straighten your front knee, cut your hips back. So this time you're going back. Reach forward with your arms as much as you can until you can't reach anymore. Drop your right arm down and bring your left arm up and look up. Again, if you can't reach, grab hold of your block. So in this case, place your block vertically, horizontally, however you like. The inside of your right foot in this case. Bring your left arm up, look up. And come back to Warrior 2. Now, bring your hands on your hips. Bring both your toes in and heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, up to standing. And let us slowly come back to our mats by lying on our stomach. So let us slowly now come back on our mats, lying on our stomach. So we're going to get on our mat and we will be lying on our belly. So let's go ahead and do that. Now go ahead and lie on your belly, and I want you to arrange your shoulders over your elbows. And your palms are facing down on the mat. And try and bring your shoulders away back from your neck. So we are in Sphinx pose. Your legs could be together here or they could be hip width apart, totally fine. So basically the tops of your feet are pressing into the mat. The fingertips are pressing into the mat. Your shoulders are over your elbows and your shoulders are away from the neck and away back from the neck. Now this is Sphinx pose. Now physically when you look at it or visually, it doesn't look like a very aggressive back bend, but it is a very important back bend and a very effective one. So let's go ahead and hold this pose for 5 breaths. Keep a soft gaze in front of you. Relax your jaw. Let your breath guide you. go ahead and make a pillow with the help of your forearms and rest your head on this pillow and release and surrender. Maybe just sway side to side, the hips, or bend your knees. And windshield wiper your legs here. We're trying to activate the parasympathetic nervous system as a cool down. Like I said, this was a back bend, and we want to make sure we are using a counter pose to avoid any injuries. Now, when you're ready, go ahead and flip on your back. We're coming towards the end of our practice. We have one more back bend. So lying on our backs, go ahead and bend your knees and your feet are placed on the mat. Try to bring your feet as close to your glutes as much as possible. Your arms are by your side, your hands are facing down, your palms are facing down on the mat. And just breathe here take 1 or 2 breaths here, just in and out through the nose. Now, we're going to get into a bridge pose, and we're going to hold this pose. When we get into the bridge pose, we're going to hold this pose for 5 breaths. And I'm going to give you 2 options. So whichever option is calling to you, go ahead and use that. So on your next inhale, go ahead and lift your hips, lift your chest, press through your fingertips into the mat. Look up, lift your head. So move your chin away from your chest and look up. And now here's where the option is. So yogi's choice. If this is the best you can do and this is what your body is calling, stay here for 5 breaths. If not, go ahead and bring your shoulder blades together. Clasp your hands underneath and stay here for 5 breaths. Now slowly, if you have your shoulder blades together, hands clasped, unclasp your hands, bring your chin to your chest, and slowly come all the way down. Bring your hips down, your back down. And now here as a counter pose, go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall out. And maybe press into your thighs with the help of your hands. Gentle press. Again, we are activating the parasympathetic nervous system. This was a slight, more of an intense back bend. Another option is you can just bring your knees to your chest, hug your knees, and maybe just rock here from side to side. Maybe hold your knees and move in circular motion here, kind of massage your lower back. Maybe in one direction and then the other. And let us go ahead and prepare for Savasana. So go ahead and extend your legs out in front of you. It could be mat width apart. Move your hands away from the torso as wide as possible. Maybe bring your shoulder blades together, create that little bit of a lift, subtle lift in your chest. Your palms are facing up. If this is too much for your lower back, I suggest go ahead and place a cushion or a pillow under your knees. And just let us surrender. Try and find that stillness. Close your eyes. This is where all the action happens. This is where the magic happens. All the work that you have put in this class, this is where the magic happens. This is your biggest challenge, Savasana. Slowly bring awareness to your body, bring awareness to your breath. Maybe wiggle your toes and your fingers. Maybe tilt your head from side to side. Maybe create a little bit of space between your lips, between your teeth. Let the cool air come in and cool down your body. Let's go ahead and bring our legs together, our feet together. Bring your arms overhead, palms to touch. Flex and point your toes. And just give yourself a big stretch from end to end. And on your inhale and on your next exhale, bring your knees to your chest. Maybe rock from side to side. And turn to your favorite side, keeping your knees bent, coming into a fetal position. Stay here for a breath or two. And when you're ready, extend your top leg and prop yourself up with the help of your hands. And come to a seated position and try and keep your eyes closed. Bring your palms on your knees or your thighs, palms facing up. Relax your eyes, your lips, your jaw. Let us go ahead and bring our palms together, rub our palms to generate a little bit of warmth. And gently press the palms onto our eyes. Let's do this 2 more times. And slowly blink open your eyes. Dhanyawad.
I hope you enjoyed this sequence and found it helpful. We will see you next week on the mat. Till then, stay safe and stay happy. Dhanyawad.